following on from the last video, it would appear that with that much damage there and here, not to mention the stuff on the top, this piston is probably shafted, so a new one, which then leads on to a problem with a rebore, and it's possible we may need one of those. There doesn't seem to be any gouge marks in there, but I've been told that if the piston's that bad, then that'll probably need a rebore, but we'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it. Right, today's task, I've been given an idea of how to get that off using some of the old clutch plates, so we'll try that, and how to get the generator off as well, for which I need to put the bolt back on. So that's today's things to do. See how much of that we can get done. I'll put that back in the box, and it's finished getting that off, and see if we can get that off. Right, crack on then. Now the tip I've been given to get this off is to use one of these in there, drill a couple of holes in it and attach a flat piece of metal, so you lock that and that together, which should allow you to turn that nut, if I understand it correctly. So I've got those, drill bit, but the only flat piece of metal I've got is that, so I need to cut a small piece of that off to make a tool to get that off. Right, well, let's see how that goes in. Understood the principle correctly. There we go, bit of metal that sits in there, slides through the top, and then you should be able to undo that bolt, obviously making sure that the con rod doesn't go up and down, otherwise you'll just sit there spinning it. Right, let's see if this works in. As you can see, oh, let me get this back on. Works a treat. Brilliant. Right, let's get this off and see what happens. This bit just slides off. Nice. There we go. And then you have to take this off as well. Now apparently you have to make sure you know which way this goes back on, because it has to go on the same way it came off. Now it looks fairly clear that side. Let's give it a quick wipe. It looks fairly clean that side, and this side has got a little black mark on it, and this is the side that came out. So that little black mark, when I put this on, has to be on the outside, and we'll put that in a nice clean container with the rest of it, and that goes in the box. Right, that's the next bolt to come off. So I've flattened off the washer as much as I can. I'm not sure if there's a special tool to do that with. There was one for me. It was called a hammer and a screwdriver, an old screwdriver. When you turn that, the pistons are going to move. So to stop the piston from moving up and down, I've got the hammers in there and a bar across. Now, as I understand it, you wouldn't normally do that because you damage your con rod, but I've been told I shall probably need a new con rod, so I'm not too worried about that. Right, let's get this bolt off. That's the nut and washer off of there. Put that in there, and then apparently this should just slide out. There we go. Lovely job. I'll stick that one in there. Right, next bit to come off is this. This is the oil baffle plate. I've already removed a slack in the screw on this side. There should be one here, but it looks like it's broken off inside. I'm not sure if the camera can get that, so I'll have to probably sort that out, but that's the next bit to come off. Take that bolt off. There's a washer there. Take that off. There it is. And a little square key. And these come off as well. Right, so put these away and on to the next. Tacho drive assembly unit, just this nylon one here. So washer on the front, be careful with that. obviously a washer behind, and then the gear, the tacho drive can then come out as well, like that, and then we should be able to pull the gear selector shaft out by hand, apparently. I'm probably going to need 2 hands for this, so I'll crack on with that. Right, and that does indeed pull out by hand. And then if we get into here, this bolt here, I'll undo that. As you tell, I've slackened it off already. And then we can take that off, followed by the spring, like that. Okay, next, I think according to the manual, it's the generator. Right, thanks Gary for the tip to get this off, the generator. Just put that bolt back on. Just stand there. Put that bolt back on, and then tap the end with a copper hide hammer until this pulls off. There we go. Ooh, lovely. Right, that's in the box. On with the next bit. I believe this is the stator, I don't know, assembly. You undo those 2 screws. This unit pulls out the cables. See if we can get this light in a better position. There we go. The cables come out of there, and up here, and you undo this bolt to remove this cable here, and then you take it off, and then there's a little square nut just inside there. You'll take that out and make sure you don't lose it. Right, and you're quite close to splitting the splitting the engine casing, I believe. So on this side, see, I've undone it already, but you undo that, take this plate off, and also just pull out that big fat gypsy washer, or whatever that bit is. Learn the technical names from later. Right, that's the engine separated. Just undo the bolts, obviously diagonally rather than just go around, and then a couple of knocks with a soft mallet, and it pulls apart. There you go. My first look inside an engine. So I don't lose loose parts, this part just slides out of there like that. Just remember to put that back in, and over here this rod that attaches to this item here, and pull that out, and we should note that it goes in between the gears. Let's see if I can get a better camera angle, like that, or the cogs. I'm not sure if they're gears or not. And then it goes into, there's a groove that runs along here, and that part there, that little knob, goes in that groove. Okay, I think that's everything that sort of jumps out when the engine is removed. On to the next bit. Just for record, there's a number 1 on that, just there, although the camera doesn't focus on it. In here is another one of, or looks like another one of these things, and that has the number, still again it's not very visible here, number 3 on it there. So number 1 is the first one. I can't see a number 2, but certainly number 3 is there. So remember to put them back in the right way.